On the phone with us this morning, Howie Mandel. How you doing, Howie?
I seem to be okay.
You seem to be okay. You checked everything. Everything's all right.
I'm not an expert, but everything feels all right.
That's good. Keep checking. We'll be on hold for you. No problem. Don't worry about it. America's Got Talent is on the air this season as well. You're back again, man. You must love doing this. It's such a cool thing because you've been in the business for so long. You're seeing all this new raw talent come right at you.
It is amazing, and it is a thrill, and it is fun, and it is totally unexpected. That's the beauty of our show, unlike any of the other shows, is the variety of acts and acts, I use that term really loosely, that come at you. This year's been more insane than any other year we've had. It's jaw-dropping insanity, and to the point where it's almost dangerous. I mean, people are actually getting hurt. We've had more blood, sweat, and tears, and not the group, than I've seen ever in person. And the EMT is turning out to be the star of this year's talent. But, last year the bar was set pretty high with Jackie Ivanko and a 10-year-old phenomenon who sings opera and Fighting Gravity. And this year we have things that are even more spectacular. And I'm having fun too. Last year, I had a little bit of a run-in with Piers, my fellow judge, calling me this annoying man in America.
Right.
And this year, I've taken it upon myself to make him an honest man. So every waking moment I can bother him, I do. And they've actually, if you watch tonight, if you watch any of the shows, they're actually showing some of the backstage antics. I blocked his dressing room with a soda machine so he couldn't get out. I mean, it's coming pretty close to bodily harm.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, nothing can be worse than last year, man. When I can't remember the name of the contestant. Didn't he put like firecrackers down his pants and blow up his manhood or something like that?
He did do that, and there are things that are worse than last year. There are. I promise you, there will be things where you will not believe what you're seeing, and worse and better than last year. I mean, just the talent alone, the good talent it's insane. It's just amazing what is out there, and how many talented and amazing people there are in America, and how innovative people are, and you're seeing things you never have seen before. And after being in this business for 30 years, I thought I had seen almost everything, and this year I've been surprised more than ever before.
And that's what's great about America's Got Talent, because first of all, it's not one of these shows that you have to fit in a certain mold to be part of. You're taking pretty much all ages and all kinds of acts, which is really cool. Nobody else is doing that.
Right. We're the last bastion of variety on television. You can really, truly see variety, and you will see things, I don't even know what categories they are, and we're the only show doing that. And you can also get, even now, and this is the week, it's good that we're talking,
Sure.
This is the last week that you get in for this season. If you think you have something that you would like to share with America, you can still get to us via YouTube.
That's right.
We still have our YouTube until the 9th, so hurry up, record yourself, and maybe we'll make you a star.
Now that's really cool because everybody can go on there, and I believe through the YouTube you can also watch what other people have posted. Correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Absolutely.
So you get to judge other people yourself.
Pardon me?
So you get to judge other people yourself, which is really cool. Like the thing about America's Got Talent, which I really like, is it's somewhat a little bit reminiscent. And I don't know if you were on this show in your career, but it's a little reminiscent of the Gong Show in some ways.
Yes, no, absolutely. I was never on the Gong Show. I was a fan of the Gong Show.
Sure.
But the difference between the Gong Show and this is the Gong Show, I think specifically was looking for outrageous and gonging. But, in lieu of the gong, we have the buzzers. But there is such great talent. I don't know that the Gong Show launched any phenomenal talent, the superstars of today.
Sure.
But we are, looking to do that. And, Jackie is, even though she didn't win, has got the second best-selling album in the world over Christmas. And Terry Fader has got a $100 million contract with the Mirage in Las Vegas. He's a ventriloquist. That was the year before, or a couple of years before I was on. But he was launched out of our show. So you never know, and a lot of people who we turn down end up going and doing very well on other talent shows and singing and dancing. But we have a higher standard on our show. So, I hope people are still, putting their auditions down on YouTube, and we find the next phenomenon.
Sure. I mean, you've been in the business 30 plus years now, and now you've got what I would consider a really difficult job right now. You're sitting in that seat, in the judge's seat, and the thing about talent is, and correct me if I'm wrong though, but it's so different. What you consider talented, Sharon might not consider talent at all, and so you've got kind of a tough job.
All we can do is we can be honest and democratic, and I think that we come at it as a panel. There's no other panel on these judging shows like us. I mean, it's such a varied panel in as far as taste and what our backgrounds are. I am the performer. Mm-hmm. Sharon is a manager who manages, groups and has made superstars out of, her clients. And Piers is a journalist. And these are the three things that you will have to face if you have any desire to go into this business. So, and we're not necessarily right. And ultimately, it's America that decides who they want to see. When we get down to the live shows in July, they will be voting. But we have the task of narrowing it down to the top 48 out of, 70,000 entries.
Yeah.
So it's a tough job.
Are you still there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it sounded like we lost you a little bit, like a bad connection.
There's nothing wrong with a little bit of silence. I love a lot of radio shows don't offer you that. It's yap, yap, yap all the time. But on this show, what I was trying to give your listeners, just a little moment to themselves.
A little of a dead air, which is fine for radio. We love that sort of thing, Howie.
No, you may not love it as much as the listener.
That's
the listener
right.
never gets it.
So for you, you've seen all these acts, you've seen all these different acts throughout your career. Now, if somebody wanted to get your vote, really, one of the best ways I would imagine to get yours is something unique and something different, something that might be a little bit more odd. Is that like a tip to get your vote? You really want to see something that you haven't seen before.
Well, I think that goes for all three of us.
Yeah.
If you see something, if you're doing something that's original and unique and is wow, there's a better chance that you're going to be noticed and. But you could be unique and wow, and then it's just insane, and it doesn't necessarily get a vote as much as it gets, it is an issue rather than a talent. But Oddity is something that I embrace a lot more than Piers. I grew up watching people like Tiny Tim,
right.
And when he was on the Tonight Show, married, it was and Andy Kaufman, and the people that are a little quirky and off, and I think there's a place for that. And sometimes, Piers doesn't necessarily see he goes, it's just bad. It's just crazy. And it is crazy and it is insane, but there is something to be said for that. So yes, I do embrace that probably more than my other fellow judge. Sharon kind of gets that.
Yeah, to be Sharon Osbourne, you have to get a little bit of the quirkiness. I mean, you have to understand that to be living with who she lives with. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, but you got to embrace it and love it, and my wife gets it to be living with who she lives with.
Well, I was gonna talk about that. A little Howie side note here. I actually spent some time reading your book a little bit. Amazing book, by the way. Amazing book. You were so candid in the whole thing about the OCD and the ADHD and things like that. It was an amazing read. It was a great book, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It ended up being a bestseller. Here's the deal. Don't touch me is the name of it.
So, and that is exactly why you do the elbow bump on the Deal or No Deal, right?
On everywhere I go. I don't shake hands. I haven't hand in years.
Yeah, I recommend reading Howie's book, too. Watch Howie. What nights are we going to be able to catch you on America's Got Talent?
Tuesday at 8 and Wednesday at 9.
On NBC.
America's Got Talent.
On NBC.
Wednesday at 9 on NBC.
Perfect. Thanks, Howie Mandel, on the show, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.